Today's stories include Astro Bot's a hit, Concord is not a hit, and Toys for Bob is officially partnering with Xbox. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. I love the cold open. I love like hitting it. Does it remind you of anything?
I mean, cold open for a lot of podcasts.
I mean, a million different things. Yeah, they do. But any specific one?
No.
When you do it, do you like channel the
I think
aura
of Not Sam Wrestling.
Oh, yeah?
Sam Roberts, yeah.
I mean,
Today,
specifically,
I'm Not Sam Wrestling.
It's Destin Legary.
Oh,
Screw Attack's hard
today
news.
In the armory.
No, but even before that,
Yeah.
he was like, and this is hard news. I can't not do it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So shout out to Destin Legary.
Shout out to Destin wherever you are.
Wherever you are.
Nobody knows whatever happened to that guy.
Where is
you know,
he?
I heard he
Where
made a
is
cookie once, just disappeared.
He's eating them cookies. Making them cookies. They're good cookies.
I
You ever
put
have
my
one of them
cookies in them. Yeah, of course I did. I
Great
ordered them a
cookies.
long time ago.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
delicious. Did you have one?
I did. I think I had one of yours.
Oh, okay. We love you, Destin.
We do love you, Destin. How you doing, Greg?
I'm excellent.
Yeah.
It's been a great week.
Mhm.
You know, I did my Gregway here, and I was talking about it. Like, now that we've broken the dam with PlayStation predictions, right, and the PlayStation State of Play, we are officially over the crest of the roller coaster.
Mhm.
We are thundering down it into SGF/E3 season, and it's going to be July before you know it.
Next week is about to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're about to hang out day after day, predicting and then reacting.
But next
to a
week
whole bunch of
flies by
showcases.
for all the predictions and all the things. Then we go to LA. Next week after that flies by because it's all the stuff we saw, we can talk about, what we can't talk about, embargoes, Ubisoft, everything else. Then you have like one breather, and then you get married.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Crazy. It's
I'm
coming
getting
fast.
married next month, which is absolutely
In
insane.
1 month, you'll be married.
Yes.
Everything will be different.
Everything. Yeah, my entire
She'll
life.
have curlers in her hair. Be wearing that bathrobe.
100%. 100%.
Telling you to mow the lawn.
Maybe not much is going to change, but no, it has been a lot of fun and exciting times planning this wedding. I will say I'm incredibly tired. I was up till like 4 a.m. last night working on stuff.
Working on stuff for the wedding.
I'm taking.
You're making
this,
the centerpieces.
I'm doing it a little. I tweeted this last night, here's the thing. If I'm being honest, Greg.
Hey, this is a place we can all be honest. Chat, be cool.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. I tweeted this morning about the wedding. I said something to the extent of like, my dream
X-Men 97.
is for any of my passion projects to be the X-Men 97 of that thing.
Yeah.
The reality is that my wedding next month is going to be the X-Men 97 of weddings. And I was self-conscious of tweeting that at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. So I scheduled it for this morning
I appreciate that.
to not get caught, for no one to expose me. And I just exposed myself.
You were worried of them catching you being up at 2:30?
I don't know. I don't know.
Gamers, man. You can do it. You
You're
can
right.
be awake at any time.
It's just something. I don't know. I don't know why I was overthinking it. You know
Everyone was
what I mean?
up at 3:30 in the morning to go get pancakes.
That's the life
You know
that
what
he
I mean?
lives. That's the life, and I respect that life.
I do too.
I respect that
There's
life.
a few
lot.
lives I respect more than Kevin Coelho's.
But anyway, life's really good right now. New Eminem dropped.
How is it?
The Death of Slim Shady album coming this summer. As the single Houdini came out.
Yeah.
It's the return of the Slim Shady persona, which he likes to do every once in a while. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, how many times are we really going to do this? But I will say, and I've said this many times before, this one feels the most like, oh, it kind of is like it used to be.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm enjoying it, I think, as much as I possibly can for what it is. It is essentially a 20-year later follow-up to Without Me. The music video is entirely just Without Me again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm here for it.
Okay.
I don't think every line was worth it. I think he pushed the boundaries of what he should be saying in ways that I'm like, I just don't know if it was worth it. It's not like, oh, he said something bad. He did say a couple bad things.
Sure
but
he
it's
did.
more just like,
He's Eminem.
I don't know. You could have said something worse if that's what you were going for.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
He wasn't mad and
It's-
bad enough.
There's just, but anyway, I feel like there's a fun to it that we haven't had in a long time. Blessing put it very well. For many years, he's been rapping as if he has something to prove that he's a rapper.
Got it.
It's like, we know you can fucking technically rap your ass off, but have some fun. And he's
Get out
having
there and
fun.
enjoy yourself, Eminem.
Yeah.
Haley's married now.
She is.
Can you believe
She is.
that?
She may or may not have a cameo in the video.
Whoa!
You should watch the video though. I think you'll enjoy it just for nostalgia's sake.
Does he wear the Robin suit again?
Oh, he
From Without Me? Yeah.
Oh, he does. The Rat Boy suit. But enough about all of that, everybody. This is Kind of Funny Games Daily. I'm Tim Geddes. This is Greg Miller. This is Friday, May 31st. Oh my God, it's the last day of May. That's insane. But we talk about video game news each and every weekday right here live on YouTube and twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. We appreciate you, all of you, hanging out and watching live with us. We're live every single day. We do games daily, leading right into a GAMESCAST on Fridays. That leads into Kind of Funny Game Showdown, our super fun trivia show. And then after that is a gameplay stream. But we are in SGF season, E3 season, like Greg was saying. So now is the best time to hang out and watch with us. It is always the most exciting time of the year to work at Kind of Funny, to be a Kind of Funny best friend, to just hang out and have a great time in the chat. I appreciate all of you, like Brian Wind, OMGesus, and Styled Gem hanging out today. And I'm sure they'll be hanging out next week as we live react to the big major conferences. We'll do our little pre-show hangouts for everybody. We'll do the actual reaction. And then, of course, we'll do the GAMESCAST breakdown afterwards. One little bit of housekeeping there, though. The Xbox showcase, everybody. I want you to understand. It's at 10 a.m., I think, on Sunday. We will be flying back from LA after playing a whole bunch of games at Jeff Keighley's Playdates. So we're not going to be live reacting at 10. We will not watch it. We will go radio blackout when it comes to social media or anything. So we will not know what Xbox announced. And then we will all watch it live together when we get back to San Francisco.
Just like last year when fate forced us to do that. This year we're doing it by choice, though, because you were all so amazing and hung out with us last year and hung in there with us. So rather than stress everybody out and try to fly at 4 a.m. and not let our team sleep at all, we're letting them sleep. Right now, I think it looks like a 1 o'clock start time is what you'd be looking for on Sunday the 9th.
Right.
If again, we don't get delayed and a few other things happen. But imagine 1 o'clock Sunday, you come hang out with us and see us react to what's happening in our own world.
Yeah, so it's going to be an absolute blast, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. If you just are a casual watcher that only comes through for Summer Game Fest season, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us today. If you're somebody that's here every day, of course, we appreciate you so much. And hey, if you're a Kind of Funny member, we appreciate you so damn much. Because that keeps the lights on here for our small independent business here in San Francisco. And you can do that on Patreon or Kind of Funny, just like our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Fargo Brady, and Delaney Twining have done. If you're a Kind of Funny member, you can get today's Gregway, which is
me talking about the death of the local game shop.
Sad thing. Like a history piece.
No, it was, somebody wrote in on the Gregway forum there about the fact that the local game shop from Columbia, Missouri announced they're closing up shop.
Oh, that's
so sad. What do I think about that?
Yeah.
And I dance on their grave.
Wow.
Digital Future, what up?
Fucking problem he is.
Fuck you, theaters too.
You can also get the Kind of Funny happy hour this afternoon if you're at the $25 tier. That's a great show. If you don't know what happy hour is, y'all get to actually call in and talk to us. We'll have like a whole bunch of the crew here, more people than normal at, well, I guess not technically this table. We bring out the couches. We have a good time. It's a good vibe. And you can call in and hang out with us and talk. It's great. So much fun. I love them every single time we do it, monthly. And today is the day. Today we're brought to you by Shady Rays, but we'll tell you all about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Thank you, Kevin. It is time for some news.
Kevin's smoking a lot today. I like it.
We have 6 stories today.
Baker's dozen!
Give me another haze just for the hell of it, Kev. Yeah.
Good. Story number 1. The Astro Bot trailer gets 99% likes on YouTube, as it fucking deserves, or at least close to. What's up with that 1%? Find some joy in your life.
I can tell you exactly who they are, but we can wait for it.
Concord gets Concord. Okay,
It's not Concord like the city.
Yeah.
Concord.
I always get confused with that.
I checked this out live on a show once.
Gets 18% likes, which, what the fuck, y'all? By Chris Scullion at IGN. PlayStation's trailers for Astro Bot and Concord have received vastly different reactions from viewers. Both games were shown during Sony's State of Play presentation. Real quick, I want to stop even what I'm saying. Kevin's playing the trailer right here. Have you seen this? The actual trailer. They didn't show this part.
No, I haven't seen the actual trailer.
Roll it back from the beginning.
Kev, can we do a live react to that? What? That's the
just
same
the
thing,
beginning,
though, right?
Just
the beginning. My apologies.
The fun little PlayStation Studios thing.
Okay.
Like, how much fun this is. And I get why they wouldn't want to show this to, like, spoil the reveal in the trailer, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like,
yeah.
Come on, man.
And you're going to sit there with a straight face and tell me you don't think he's awesome.
It is one of the worst design characters in the history
you.
of characters, not just video games. It's insane. Why is there so many curves?
You're an idiot.
It's It's the most stock footage ass character
sucking, I
design
hate
I've
you.
ever seen. Both games were shown during Sony's State of Play presentation on Thursday, with Concord opening the show and Astro Bot closing it. But the response to each has differed greatly. The Astro Bot trailer's been almost universally praised, receiving 99% likes on YouTube at the time of writing, which is 23,405 likes versus 245 dislikes. I called someone a fucknut this week, and now everyone's calling me a fucknut, and I really appreciate it. Announced on Thursday.
Here, fuck nuts.
Let's go, baby. Announced on Thursday. Sorry. Concord's cinematic trailer fared slightly better, but is still currently very much negative with 23% likes. Announced on Thursday, Astrobot's a fully fledged 3D platform based on Astro's Playroom tech demo that has been installed on every PlayStation 5 console. The new game, simply titled Astrobot, will consist of over 80 levels spread across 6 galaxies, so players will doubtless be hoping it will take what Astro's Playroom did and replicate it on a grander scale. Concord, meanwhile, was announced last year, but no gameplay footage was shown at the time. The game was showcased on Thursday with a 5-minute cinematic trailer introducing players to some of its characters, followed by a gameplay trailer. Many of the comments under the gameplay trailer appear to be complaining that as a 5v5 team shooter similar to Overwatch and Valorant, the footage didn't appear to show much that other games aren't already doing. Others noted that the cinematic trailer gave the impression that Concord was going to be a single-player sci-fi adventure similar to the Guardians of the Galaxy game, and that they were then disappointed to find out it was a team-based shooter. What you got to say, Greg?
I mean, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Concord, or do you want to start with the 1% Astrobot?
Well, I want to know what's up with the 1%.
Kevin, go ahead and open up reddit.com/r/PSVR. We've always wondered, how big is the PlayStation VR audience? Your most upvoted right there. Sony giveth, Sony taketh away. And it's the Pope holding up Astrobot on PS5, the devil with the no symbol over the PlayStation VR holding Astrobot PS5. If that wasn't enough, Kevin, I just slammed one into the assets as well. That's from last night. This was the one I sent on random last night. This is the entirety of the post. Title: an entire Astrobot title with not a mention of PSVR 2 in sight. Body of the post: it's unfortunately over.
They're not wrong.
As if anyone who watches this stuff and commentates on this stuff and previews and reviews this stuff had been telling you for so long. They're not supporting it. PlayStation VR 2 is not being supported. It's not a slight against you. It's not a slight against the hardware. It's not a slight against the developers. It's a slight against PlayStation for selling something and abandoning it. But you didn't want to listen to that message. You wanted to attack the people saying that. And last night, there's so much cope on this subreddit. So many posts on this of people just being like, I can't fucking believe it.
I'm
and again, you got fucked by PlayStation. I'm not this isn't me slamming you guys.
Yeah, like they're not PC gamers.
Yeah, oh my God. PC gamers had it coming.
There. No, for real talk though, I said this yesterday on our reactions. Of course, you can watch us react and then break down the showcase yesterday if you would like to. But just to repeat myself a little bit here, I am so surprised genuinely at what we got from PSVR 2 yesterday with the way that they promoted
as you said
the
it,
State of Play.
PlayStation VR 2 is cooked.
It's cooked, man. I can't believe that 14 titles they're talking about and it ended up being those two non-exclusive games, and Astrobot being shown and not having PSVR. Like, there was just no mention of the PC functionality for PlayStation VR, no mention of the sale specifically about PSVR like you were predicting. All that stuff adds up. I'm like, oh man, like I feel for the PSVR 2 fans out there. Like, it is such a great piece of hardware. Like, it is something that if it's going to be released, and it was released at the price that it was released and still is at, even with sales, it is still very expensive. And this is all the support that they give it. It's honestly unacceptable, really.
Yeah.
Like, it is so unfortunate to look at it and just be like, if you look at PSVR 1 and the library it had and the attempts that they make, the swings that they took on that, I'd look at that and go, you know what? It didn't fully work. It wasn't the hit that some people predicted it would be. Many people hoped that it would be, all of that stuff. But you can't say PlayStation didn't try. They didn't try their best, I don't think, but they did try with that thing. They put so much focus on it. I'll never forget the E3 2016 press conference from PlayStation, one of the infamous Sony press conferences. There was a back-to-back-to-back quote-unquote banger list of PlayStation VR supported titles. We had that Final Fantasy,
the fishing game,
15 thing.
You had
Arkham. We had
Star Wars.
All that stuff, just boom, 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 and it was like, oh, they're trying with this thing.
Yeah,
it just really doesn't.
Now the
feel...
IPs have fled from it.
Yeah,
and you are not going to get that. You're going to get people trying to make the best of it. Independent studios making really cool shit. Shout out to chat. It's the PlayStation VR 2 fans. What's the new mustard one? There's a game coming up that's like mustard VR, mixed mustard VR, or whatever. They put out a statement. They're an indie team, obviously, and they were like, hey, we're inspired by Astro Bot. So if you're looking for an Astro Bot VR game, we're going to be that game. You should be a part of it. I'm looking over to see when he gets it.
I mean, that's cool.
But yeah, I'll try to find it and dig it up or whatever. But like, they're coming up soon. People want to be that. Also from the subreddit, I like this one, right? This is from 16 hours ago. It's the link to the PlayStation blog about Astro Bot, right? And it says, Astro Bot on the PlayStation blog, period. Over 200 comments, 95% only negative criticism and all disagreeing with the quote, or I'm sorry, parentheses, absurd, end parentheses, decision not to support PlayStation VR 2.
Yeah.
They're out there, they're doing it, they're hustling.
It's just wild. And like, it really feels extra unfortunate because they started this thing off with Horizon. It was like, you know what? We're actually doing the thing that they didn't even do the first time around.
Max Mustard.
Mustang says, kind of funny over here holding experiences over games. I'm not. I'm just saying they at least were trying with IP that people really cared about at the time, and that made sense then. I feel like now coming out with promoting the state of play as covering PlayStation 5 and PSVR 2 games when there have not been many PSVR 2 games of any consequence since release of this thing. For them to come out with, I forget what it was called, Behemoth yesterday, which like had some cool things about it, but I feel like the nicest things you can say about it are it might be PSVR's Asgard's Wrath. Like that's the nice thing, right?
And I think with all due respect, like I don't think that's going to be. Like Asgard's Wrath is like a very, very special game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the Alien thing, which is like, yeah, like the Alien thing is an example of one of the experience type things that I was talking about before. Of like, yeah, there's an IP there, but like that's not what this needs at this point. And so, yeah, what we got yesterday is, I think, a very definitive statement.
Meanwhile, literally 0 minutes ago at 10:17 a.m., I get an email that's a press release that says Asgard's Wrath 2 updated with visual improvements and new free cosmic event. Meta and Sanzaru Games just launched a wealth of visual improvements for Asgard's Wrath 2 on the MetaQuest 3 and kicked off a new free cosmic event featuring creepy crawling monsters called Smithers or Smiters.
That is Jeff Keighley levels of petty.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but I was calling it up not even about that because, again, I don't think MetaQuest 3 even fucking thinks about PlayStation VR. I think this is just, again, the correct way to support something.
Yeah.
Hey, let us put out press releases about it and talk about our exclusive game and the content it's getting and remind you that it's great and it got a 10 out of 10 from IGN and all these things. Like, PlayStation doesn't do that.
So, okay, that's the 1% of the dislikes on Astro, which...
and I accept all your apologies, PlayStation VR 2 fans. Even if you're mad at me again right now, when you wake up to the fact that I've been right and Bless has been right, I accept your apologies.
Then jumping over to the positive, though, of the Astro Bot story, 99% likes. I love that, man. I feel like there's still questions about this game.
A lot of questions.
And I think that there is a very intentional timing of, more information, June, or the pre-order, June 7th or whatever. It's like, all right, cool. So Summer Game Fest, we're probably going to get something, which is exciting because now that we know what this game is, we know there's the PlayStation crossover stuff. I am expecting some type of, like, bigger reveal or bigger fun collaboration or moment.
Okay. What do you think? You think you get, like, if it's at SGF, I assume you're getting an actual gameplay demo on stage of Astro Bot, right? Or whatever it is going to be. And then they do the thing where then they cross over with somebody like Kratos or Drake.
I wouldn't necessarily expect that. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was like a Summer Game Fest pre-show type thing, because it's like, I don't think that it's a major news thing, but it is the moment for them to push the pre-orders live. So yeah. I feel like PlayStation would want to use the eyeballs on them to like kind of have like a, oh shit, well I gotta get that. You know what I mean? So I just think like something fun. I don't know what it would be though, and I don't even understand where exactly it's going to go, but I'm excited for it. And I'm so excited for this game. I love it. I love Astro. I love 3D platformers. I love the love that goes.
Kevin, we can stop resting in peace on PlayStation VR 2 if you want to toss up the Astro trailer.
You guys are fucking screamed.
Sorry, I was playing with
You're having too much fun. I get you.
That's my bag. I was distracted.
But I love it because I feel like 3D platformers in general are video games. It is the core to what video games are when you think of video games in their purest form.
Well, I mean, Mario started it all for so many people.
Exactly. And I just feel like we've gotten so far away from that of video games. When you think video games, you don't think platformers. I do, because I'm old school like that, but I think most people think first person shooters or things like Last of Us, like bigger experiences that are like more movie like and cinematic. So I really appreciate just the passion and care being put into the fun of just gameplay, and just the magic of the wonder of anything can happen. Any gimmick can be introduced in the level, and they're gonna expel every ounce of fun of that gimmick. And Astro Bot entirely runs with that. And we've been talking a lot about the comparisons to Astro and Mario are kind of in a league of their own. And even that, I'm not saying that Astro's as good as Mario. I am saying that it is one of the only franchises that is at all comparable in how tight it controls, how special the decisions are in terms of like the what you're actually doing level to level and the obstacles and the platforming itself of how you're maneuvering. But I also think a very apt comparison is to Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is one of the biggest video game surprises I've ever had in my life. I have never really been a Kirby guy, and that game came out of nowhere and was just a spectacle of a 3D platformer. And I get that from watching this trailer, and I'm just very excited that I'm not alone. Like seeing 99% on this, it's like that just feels so good.
No, 100%. I think that would be the concern for most people, right? As somebody who's loved Astro since Rescue Bot and was out there evangelizing on PlayStation VR. Obviously, putting on its PlayStation VR meant you were hampering what audience was going to get it, right? To put out Playroom then and have everybody on their PlayStation 5 be able to jump into it and enjoy it, it's still the question of that was a free pack-in game. Did he resonate? Is this something people want more of, right? So to jump out there and see, of course, a crazy response when you're talking about 99% likes or whatever on YouTube, right? Like that's incredible. That's awesome. And you hope that then leads to sales, which is the bigger question for me, at least. Yeah. This is a boxed PlayStation 5 game. They've talked about the 80 levels, all the different stuff they're putting into it. What are we asking for this? Is this a $70 game? Is this going to be a $49.99 game? Is it going to be a $29.90 game, or where are we ending up with it?
I'm so interested. What do you think?
I legitimately don't know. And I'm prepared to eat these words. And I also feel like I'm carrying my own perception, I guess, and misconceptions at this point. I'm stoked for Astro Bot. I love Astro Bot. I would, if I wasn't in the industry and I wasn't getting a review code and yada, 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 I would pay $70 for an Astro Bot. I think that's too much to ask of the general audience. And I think I'm not trying to, I feel like I'm being very negative or, put downy on it, but it's like, I think that's your PlayStation 5 player base is so large and they all theoretically have a connection to Astro Bot. At least they hopefully touched it, the free game that came with it. And we're like, oh, this is cool. I feel like putting that $7 price point on it would be a break for so many. In the make or break situation, I'd be like, I don't need $70 on this, right? So then trying to figure out what you do with it and where you put it gets interesting of like, okay, well, I think 40. Like if you could do $39.99 on it, that'd be great. But then also if you've got the shit, if you've got the stuff and you're like, this is a $70 game, fucking do $70. If it's packed to the gills with everything, do it and shove it down the throats of people who weren't going to play it. If you're not going to buy it at 70, that was a break. Maybe it was going to be a break at 40 as well. Totally. The free thing? I'm not paying for the free thing.
Yeah, I think that no matter what, this game is going to end up going on sale very quickly. I feel like just because of the genre, because of the family focused market.
If they hadn't put the box out, I would have been like, oh, well, I bet they're going to do a PlayStation Plus thing. You know what I mean?
I'm just so happy that's not it. I hope that this is a $70 experience. I hope that they put the level of like, oh yeah, this is a premium product. We're putting as much into this and as much care, and we see this as an IP that matters at a $70 level. Yeah. We've spent years talking about, explore the prices of everything, the scale of everything, and I think that's true. But then I also think that there are examples of that make it feel lesser than. Like when Ratchet and Clank Remake came out, that game felt lesser than a core Ratchet and Clank game coming 100%. Out because of the price tag. And I just going on my whole fucking ramble about 3D platformers, and then I want them to mean something. I want $70 worth value 3D platformers out there. And if Astro looking like this can't do that, no one else can besides the Marios of the world, which there aren't any others. So I hope that Astro joins the ranks. And we'll find out very soon. But I just want to be clear. I don't hope the game is $70. I hope the game is $70 and is worth $70. But knowing what they've worked on before, I entirely expect that it will be.
They could totally do that. Yeah, 100%.
Let's move on to the negative side of this. Concord. You want to go off on it?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is the problem. Is that I would look. Do I want to go off on it? Not really, because I don't think about Concord, right? Like Concord went from, wow, what a great cinematic trailer. Lots of great characters here. This world looks interesting. Yeah. And then they did this. And as soon as they showed this, I went, oh, cool, not for me. I don't want to play this game. I don't like hero shooters. It's just not my bag, right? Let alone, it's just such a weird, is Concord doomed is what the headline of the story was, right? And obviously we have no idea. The problem is that it seems the people who should be super jazzed about this aren't, right? We're talking about 23% positivity, right, on the cinematic trailer, 18%, and these are just likes on YouTube, who knows? But Paul Tassi, who, of course, is my games as a service expert at Forbes, put up a similar article where he was also just calling out that the Overwatch fans are calling it out for being an Overwatch clone and don't seem super stoked, and these people aren't. It's like he's got his finger on the pulse in a way I don't. But like, as student of the game, person who does all this stuff and watches it, I look at this and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't look at this and go, this is a guaranteed success. This is something I have to try and play. I want to. Nor do I see this being a thing that Mike and Andy are going to go gaga for and go home and play with Nick and Chris Anka and stuff. And like, that could still happen. This is a first blush, yada, yada, yada. But to have these two dissonant, it's different, they aren't matching up, trailers drop with it. It's just like, okay, cool, you had me at the trailer, you lost me at the gameplay. And then Mike's the opposite, where it's like, all right, the gameplay looks interesting kind of or whatever, but I don't give a shit about the story. And then to be like, well, we're going to drop more story on a weekly basis. It's like, does anyone care about that? Am I going to, especially for like one of my reasons I don't like a hero shooter is, okay, you're jumping around these different characters and doing these different not builds, team makeups. So it's like I don't feel a connection to the characters necessarily. And this is just a Greg thing, not a thing. So like I want to be into the story that way about it. Then let's get all of that out right. Then you jump to pre-orders start on June 6th. Okay. Pre-orders. So we're charging for this. This is going to be a game at some point you are handing over an amount of money. Is it $70? Is it less? Whatever. Who knows?
That's very interesting. I think, honestly, that is probably like the biggest concern that I have with this. I do think otherwise they're making smart decisions of launching day and date on PlayStation and PC. We've talked a lot about. That's what you need to do for the success of these type of games to even potentially be a success in a crowded field. I feel like the quote unquote hate here is a bit unwarranted. I don't think that it's as doom and gloom as this feels.
The likes thing.
Yeah,
but it is more the fact that I did not see the overwhelming positivity yesterday of I can't wait to play this.
But here's the thing with that, and it's weird. I don't know why I feel defensive of this game at all because
I think we always want to give everybody a fair shake.
I don't think it's going to succeed. I
don't either.
I do not think it will. But I just feel like it's impossible for a shooter period to like this, a new IP shooter to come out and like wow people in the trailer. I think. Like, I feel like until people get their hands on this and actually know the experience, like then it's going to be a lot more valid. And I think it's just, I also get though that we see this and we're like, well, this just looks like other things. So why do I care about it?
I think you said it yesterday really well, right? Of like, they did this and then followed up with Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here's another hero shooter, but guess what? You have connections to all these heroes already, and you don't need the narrative element because fucking Spider-Man's going to be over there doing his goddamn thing.
I think that they did a bad job of showing this game with the very long cinematic trailer and then following it up with the gameplay trailer that it did. We talked about how it didn't do a good job of explaining the game modes, explaining exactly what this is, because it's a hero shooter. They've said that it's 5v5, but a lot of this looks Arena Halo-esque. Like it looks like a Splitgate, I think the name of it was, in terms of the movement and locomotion of the characters and the gunplay. And it's like, if it feels that good, that's going to be a win, but that's a very tall task. I also just think that this looks like a game out of time in every single way, where we're talking about a Overwatch clone in 2024. It's almost a decade after Overwatch and of people playing Overwatch. And on top of that, we look at PlayStation, and for as long as I've been playing video games with or looking at PlayStation, it's always been like, well, where's their shooters though? Like Xbox
people
had
always
the shooters.
fucking say that, but I mean,
I mean, but that's the thing is like it always was the case of Xbox had the shooters, PlayStation didn't, but then Call of Duty's just multi-platform and like the way people play it. It's like now they have shooters.
And that's my thing. Yeah, you never needed to worry about Killzone and Resistance going away because Call of Duty stepped up and like there's there. And now there's like, 3 shades of Call of Duty to play at any second.
And so I just feel like this feels like an answer to a question that we're no longer asking.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's a very tough spot for them to be in. And
again, it feels like, an answer, or at least the results, I should say. This is a tree that got planted and grew and is now bearing fruit in a time where we don't want that fruit, right? Like we talk about live service. We talk about live service saturation. You bring up Overwatch and how that was years ago, and we've seen Overwatch 2 fail in the meantime. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about the PlayStation set off on this live service push. We want all these different games. We want you. And so they're trying it here. And like, yeah, you found success with Helldivers, but I think that was a wholly unique thing. Even though I saw it go through the chat, and obviously millions of people are chatting. Thank you so much. Somebody did point out, of course, like that's how people felt about Helldivers, so they got their hands on it. Yeah, again, we're not trying to say Concord sucks and is garbage. We don't know. I don't think yesterday they sold it in a way that I go, oh, that is an interesting take. I do want to try that.
Yeah.
Nor for our shooter boys on the panel did they go, oh man, that this looks hot.
And I do think that's telling that I don't think it's possible for a game like this to achieve that because they had a cinematic thing and they said there's going to be cinematic weekly things. And if that doesn't grab you for this type of game, nothing's going to. And like, that's okay too, but they swung. I just feel like it kind of missed. And like, that's unfortunate for what is PlayStation's big game this year for the rest of the year.
Yeah. It just feels for me as somebody who loves PvE, putting this kind of narrative into PvP in a hero shooter where you're going to jump around between people, at least I would think 1 or 2, right? Like it just gets weird of like Destiny makes sense for me having a story. And I know there is PvP in Destiny, but overwhelmingly the narrative is PvE, right? It makes sense that, okay, cool. Yeah, I want to be involved in Destiny. I like the shooting and I like building the character I built, right? Like I'm coming back for her final shape just to at least screw around with Joey when it drops next week. And it'll be my Taylor Swift character who's been there the entire run, right? Since Destiny 1 or whatever. So it's like getting in there and going, and like, even though I have no idea what's happening in the stories, it'll be fun to run around those places that I know and see those things. If this had been a PvE game with weekly story drops and stuff like that, I would have been like, oh, okay, wait a second now. That sounds, you know what I mean? But like, you're watching basically a trailer for a character not even playing necessarily. Like these 2 characters are off on an adventure, but like they're not your characters. So like, do you care that that's then shaping the world and maybe changing the map? Like, I think yesterday the example given was how every time you jump into Fortnite, right, and there's a new season, they do the thing, and like how Blessing skips it every time because he's jumping in late just to do whatever. And like even for me, as somebody who likes Fortnite, I usually skip those too, where it's just like, no, let's just get to it. I'll figure it out as I go. I don't need to see what this, or I've already seen the battle pass online or whatever.
Yeah.
So somebody, can I call one out here?
Oh yeah.
We have a bunch of super chats because everybody's fantastic. I like this one from Mullen, maybe. Mule. Can you name 3 shooters? Can you name 3 hero shooters on PS5? I can only think of Apex and Overwatch. I honestly think Concord has more opportunity than y'all give them credit for. Also, weekly narrative cinematics sounds expensive. It sure the fuck does. This is what I was talking about yesterday. I think you're going to see that get backed off real quick if this game isn't 10 out of 10, everybody's in, crazy numbers. Look at what we're doing as PlayStation. I think you get through what they've already done in terms of their narrative, because I'm sure they've built out way in advance. And I think eventually you get through that. All right, we're wrapping up that season, and now we're moving on to the animatic comic book cutscenes or whatever they're telling the narrative, or we just drop it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does look expensive. I called this out yesterday, but it does seem like there's some corners being cut with like the lip syncing and stuff. So like I get the vibe that they have it under control for at least whatever the initial pitch is. I'm very interested in what this is actually weekly for how long.
Yeah.
If they come out like it's weekly for 3 months and then it's monthly or then it's something else, I'm intrigued by this idea. Again, I don't think it's going to work, but I want it to work.
Yeah.
And I want to support them trying to make that work because I do think that that is a cool idea. So we'll see. But yeah, it more likely than not is not going to hit, and it's going to be way too expensive to continue. We also got a couple here from Apple's dude saying, you have to wonder if Concord might have started as a PvE type game with the story and CGI cutscenes, but maybe the Bungie acquisition changed things.
I doubt it. Yeah. I feel like that's a big old wrench to throw in there. I know a lot of people want to demonize Bungie and their commentary on PlayStation's live service games, but I doubt you would have gone in there, and I doubt they would have been like, "We'll cobble it together with what we have now." Like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah. We got a lot of super chats. I actually want to get through them pretty quickly here, just because a lot of them are dealing with this story number one. And some are just some fun stuff here. Shinto says, Greg, as someone who went to Mizzou, did you ever get a chance to try Emo's Pizza? And if so, what'd you think?
You know, it's a great question because Emo's is the St. Louis pizza that people like from St. Louis are gaga for, and everybody's like, this is fucking complete trash or whatever. I believe I had it like one square from somebody at a party early on. I was like, this shit sucks, and I never ever ordered it again. And I ordered a lot of pizza at Mizzou, believe it or not.
There we go. Emo's, everybody. A glowing review, question mark. Don't Dude 246 says, thought Tim would appreciate it. I have acquired my first OLED TV, an LG C3, baby. Congratulations. Your life will be changed forever. God, I love these things. We got CJ Splits on saying Astro Kart or Astro RPG next. Team Asobi said they wanted to experiment in multiple genres. Maybe just bring back Ape Escape. Ape Escape's gone. Astro is totally just what Ape Escape was, which is a example of how to use the fun, unique thing about the controller in a video game. And yeah, I think we're good.
I would say if you're looking for them to expand on what Astro Bot would be into a different genre, CJ, I think what we kind of tiptoed into it, right, of some kind of like multiplayer battle royale race system, Tetris 99, what, you know what I mean, like Mario 99. Like, I think there's something leaderboard fun chasing you could do with a multiplayer Astro that wouldn't just feel like the exact same thing over and over again.
Yep. Then we got Downey Downerson saying a clean futuristic white and blue robot design, and Tim hates it. Lick me, Tim.
Lick him.
I mean, it is wild. It is one of the craziest things for me in my life, that everything you just described, and it looks like that. Norman says, Quest popularity killed large-scale VR games. It means everything needs to be able to run on what's basically an Android phone. Yeah, this is how things work. When there is the lowest common denominator that is the mass-adopted product, that's what things are going to be made for.
Yes, but I think what killed it is you can put that in there, sure, but it's also the fact that I think that even before Quest's popularity took off, because it hasn't been around forever, I would say what really was a nail in the coffin at the very least was the fact that you had no games justifying the price tag of the tech that was out there.
But I think it's a chicken and egg thing there of just like the games that were working were the games that work at this level, and so they made the hardware that's at this level, so that's where we're at.
Sure.
So, yeah. And then Jovan says, 18-hour day driving a truck yesterday. Took off today to get to watch live. You guys make my days fly by with the podcast, and I love you. And Tim's correct. They could have done better with the Astro design. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Get back in your truck.
Let's get to story number 2. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater might not release until 2025. It's claimed.
I'm shocked.
Are you?
I mean, you're the only idiot I look at on the kindafunny.com/the league or whatever, right? Where I come over here and it's like you had picked it with your third pick in the fantasy draft.
We've been talking all week about this game, and all of us were like, yeah, 2024 sounds likely.
Now, you all said that, and you can see me go, I didn't realize we were buying this.
That face,
this
everybody.
Fucking snake
that
oil.
Fucking face.
This fucking snake oil.
Konami could be targeting a 2025 release date for Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, Delta Snake Eater. It's been claimed. While a release date for the game's never been announced since January, PlayStation's been listing it as one of their hottest titles coming to PlayStation 5 in 2024, although it notes that release dates are subject to change. Writing on Deal Labs, ever-reliable data miner, Bill Kuhn, oh shit, yeah, this thing's definitely coming in 2025, suggested it's possible the game slipped to 2025 and claimed we won't have to wait long to find out. They said a global distribution giant is currently carrying a placeholder release date of December 31st, 2025. Pre-orders were reportedly open immediately following a new showing of the game, which is expected to take place in the next 10 days at Summer Game Fest. I'm not like freaking shocked, but I expected it with the way that development seemed to have been going, the way talk has been going about this game, that it would be this year. And I also still don't fully believe that it's not.
Okay.
We'll have to wait and see. Regardless, extremely excited about it.
Of course. Come on. Let's see what they got. What do they do?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Metal Gear? I want it back.
So damn.
Are you going to finish Metal Gear 1? You said you started it.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through. I'm working. It's on my Steam Deck, and I just keep pulling it up anytime I'm rendering.
Yeah,
stuff
when they dropped
whatever.
Volume 1 and I popped it on PlayStation and played for a night, I was like, it was like one of those like, I think about it every so often. I'd have to restart now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it. It's like just such a fun game to even restart.
Yeah,
and like just for it all to click back in. And like I've said this, but I've never played Metal Gear Solid 1. I've only played Twin Snakes. So
outrageous.
Like going back and playing this it's so. I mean, it's rough in some ways, but man, there's something about like PS1 games don't age well for the most part. there's something about the style of Metal Gear Solid, the colors and the look of MGS1 that is perfection. It is so amazing. And do yourselves a favor. Just Google or YouTube Metal Gear Solid 4K geometry. Yeah, just put that in the search engine and hit it. There's like modders that have like done a proper 4-scale up-res, and there's something with geometry correction. That's what it is. Geometry correction makes it so that it can be widescreen and look right and not stretch things, and make the polygons not just be higher res, but actually like fit correctly. And it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So yeah, shout out to Metal Gear Solid 1.
Shout out to Metal Gear Solid 1, everybody.
We're going to get to story number 3, but first, we're going to take a quick word from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Shady Rays, an independent sunglasses brand that has over 300,000 5-star reviews. They are on a mission to match affordability with durability, making top quality shades accessible to everyone. They have tons of styles and colors to pick from, so finding the perfect polarized shades is a breeze. If you want an upgrade, we recommend their premium Color Rush lenses. Crafted with rare earth materials, these lenses bring high impact color to life, elevating reds, blues, and greens. Here at Kinda Funny, we all love wearing our Shady Rays, whether it is Tim looking dope doing his Pokemon Go walks, Snow Mike rocking the snow goggles, or Joey just looking fantastic in her tangle-free shades. If your shades go MIA or take a hit, don't sweat it, they've got lost and broken protection, so you're covered from day one. And if you don't love your shades, exchange them or return them for free within 30 days. Exclusively for y'all, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code KF20 for $20 off each pair of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Again, that is shadyrays.com and use code KF20 for $20 off polarized sunglasses.
Story number 3. Toys for Bob is officially partnering with Xbox for their next game. They tweet, "We're excited to announce that we're partnering with Xbox to publish our next new game. We're still very early in development, so you might not hear from us for a bit, but know that we're working on an experience we're so inspired about. Can't wait to share more." They got 4 O's in that, so.
That's how excited they
You know
are.
what else has 4 O's? Banjo-Kazooie. I don't know that that's true at all, but fuck it. I'm shooting the shot and calling it right now. It's going to be Banjo. They're doing it.
That does count.
Does that 4?
Well, this is 3. There's 3 O's in the so. We're so inspired.
All right. Well, you know what? Whatever. The point stands. Banjo, baby. Do you think?
Why not?
It's a big stretch.
They get
you know
it.
what I mean?
No, is it? I mean, people have wanted more Banjo.
Yeah.
These little sick fucks like Ryan McCaffrey, right? And so you got the IP hanging out with Xbox. You got this team that's shown time and time again they can come into a classic IP, do it justice, do some awesome shit. Why not?
I mean, I think it's a stretch just because of like where the IP lies and all whatever. And at this point, Xbox owns the world, so it's like they are able to legally do it. You know what I mean? It's interesting. Toys for Bob. Going independent from Activision, now partnering with Xbox for this. Not a surprise. This felt like it was very much going to happen. But looking at Toys for Bob, what they've been doing, it seems like Spyro 4 is the next step. Like that's what would make sense based on what they were doing. Of there was whether it was them or the other teams remastering the Spyro trilogy, the Crash trilogy. We got Crash 4. Spyro 4 feels like it would be next in line. But the partnering with Xbox here, the way they're doing this and saying they're so inspired, definitely making leaps here. But I do think Banjo adds up and makes sense. And I think that that's what Xbox would want if they're partnering with them for this. Like, if they weren't partnering, I feel like it would just be a Spyro 4 and it's multi-platform and it's everywhere. Whereas partnering with Xbox, it's like, all right, maybe Banjo is Xbox exclusive or maybe not.
Probably not, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't really. Make your money somewhere on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Banjo's that. Again, how big is the game? How big is the scope? A million different questions on it before you'd be like, this is how it's got to be. You know what I mean?
Story number 4. There are hours of official recordings of Shadow the Hedgehog saying fuck. This comes from Kenneth Shepard at Kotaku. God, I saw this come through Slack yesterday.
Yeah.
From one Roger.
Boy, you freako, sicko perverts.
And I am just so happy that I'm on Games Daily.
Yeah.
Today to talk about this story. When Shadow the Hedgehog launched in 2005 as an edgier take on the Sonic series. It was lambasted for including firearms, vehicles, and swearing in what was typically seen as a family-friendly franchise. Sure, it never quite went the route of the M-rated Conker's Bad Fur Day, but he let out a damn upon getting hit or exclaimed, "Damn, not here," when he fell to his death. But with the sound of it, at one point, Sega was considering making Shadow the Hedgehog an M-rated game. And that means there's audio somewhere at Sega of Shadow voice actor Jason Griffith saying fuck in character. Griffith, who voiced both Sonic and Shadow from 2005 to 2009, recently gave an interview with Game Luster at MomoCon in Atlanta. Shout out to MomoCon, in which he revealed...
Remember that? Remember we used to go to MomoCon?
Yeah, 2015, man. In which he revealed that Sega was initially at least considering aiming for a much stricter rating with Shadow the Hedgehog than the E10 Plus it ultimately got. During recording sessions, Griffith was told to do multiple takes for lines. One that would go into the game that was eventually released, and another that would go into a hypothetical M-rated Shadow the Hedgehog. As a result, and I need everybody to listen to this and take it very seriously.
Take it seriously.
Griffith recorded hours of Shadow lines that dropped F-bombs left and right.
Nice.
They were going for an quote. They were going for an M rating with this game, and they hadn't heard back from the agency if they were going to get it yet. So they had me record 2 takes for every line, and I swear the version that was for the M rating, they had me say "fuck" in every single line.
Nice.
It was just every sentence. I'd be yelling, "Sonic, give me that fucking Chaos Emerald," or something like that. I had no idea what was going on, but I just went with it, and I had fun. There's a hard drive somewhere with hours of recordings of Shadow yelling "fuck" at Tails and Sonic and stuff. God bless Sonic the Hedgehog. Roger Picordi, please. Welcome.
Get out, Greg.
Oh my God.
Number one Shadow expert at this company.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow the Hedgehog molded me into the man that I was, and I am.
You are, yeah.
To this day.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow the Hedgehog is the only Sonic game that I played maybe 5 hours of at least. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
That's
Like
the whole
that's
game,
pretty big. That's
Uh-huh.
pretty big. So this, to me, feels like something that is an ethical situation.
For sure.
The people that work at Sega, you need to find this hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take this hard drive, put it down your pants, and walk out the front door and upload it to YouTube. Because this is not going to hurt Sega, the uploading of this drive. The Sonic fan base, they've heard a lot. They've made a lot of bad content out there.
That's true. That's true.
This is not like Mario saying the F word. Shadow the Hedgehog canonically says fuck.
Mm-hmm.
We know it in our heart. We knew that him saying hell and damn, we know that was being censored.
Yeah.
So the fact that in this hard drive, he says the word fuck, he says more than heck, he says more than damn, we need to hear this.
Unleash the fuck cut, everybody.
Unleash the fuck cut. Unleash the fuck cut. Do you think we'll ever hear this? Do you think
No.
someone will actually leak this?
We can only hope,
Yeah.
but I don't think so. But I really would love to hear him say anything about the fucking Chaos Emeralds. It'd be great, you know? We need it.
Yeah, no, we need it.
I mean, it is the year of Shadow, right? That's why he's doing interviews right now. We got Shadow, Sonic Cross Generation. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Maybe they sneak a fuck in there.
Do you
You know
think
what I mean?
that's
Maybe there's a fuck
the
DLC.
the director's cut? The director's cut of this game.
Yeah.
He says it. He said, do you think that Keanu Reeves will use the one fuck? Do you think it will be a PG-13 movie?
Roger, I just want to let you know how much joy you just brought in my life. I for a second forgot that
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is about to voice Sonic the Hedgehog in the best movie of this year. Greg, this is why theaters need to keep existing. We're getting Sonic the Hedgehog 3 with Keanu Reeves.
He went for theaters. He didn't know what he's doing.
I love you so much, Roger. Thank you for joining us on
Thank
this
you so
beautiful
much.
show.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Greg can come back. We're going to talk about less cool stories now. Actually, that's not true. This next story is really great. Really, really great. Story number 5. Panic recovers stolen Playdates worth $400,000. This comes from Chris Kerr at Game Developer. Kev, if you could bring up this tweet, I'd really appreciate it because it is a absolute banger here. Panic has recovered a bunch of stolen Playdates worth $400,000 after the purloined consoles. Ooh, word of the day there. Were hastily dumped near a random restaurant. Did you hear the story about how $400,000 worth of Playdates were misdelivered by FedEx to a construction site near our warehouse and then someone just stole them? Seriously. Well, guess what? Well, guess what got hastily dumped at a random restaurant this morning? Welcome back, stolen Playdates.
Nice.
God, remember this story?
Oh, yeah.
What a time.
Unless we forget. You kidding me? Right.
More details and likely a very good Playdate podcast episode in the future. For now, this was our best possible outcome. The result of lots of time and detective work, which, okay, fine, we enjoyed. The real question is, can we sell these as a limited edition? Playdate hot. We first learned about the apparent heist at GDC 2024. Panic co-founder Cable Sasser went on a surprising sojourn during his GDC talk to explain 4 pallets of Playdate stock had vanished after being dispatched from the company's shipping center in Las Vegas. The company initially managed
This
to
is my favorite photo.
to retrieve 2 pallets, but the other 2 remained unaccounted for. Underlining the importance of finding the missing consoles, Panic explained its insurance policy likely wouldn't have covered the theft. We haven't written them off of inventory yet, and we never filed an insurance claim. It continued, we're not even sure our insurance would cover this, so you can imagine we're glad they're back. What a story.
You got to imagine these people stole them, got them home. Put them somewhere till the fuzz dies down. We got the PlayStation 5s, and then they were like, all right, let's calm down. They open one of these boxes, like, what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this little thing with a crank?
So yellow.
It's so yellow. It's impossibly yellow.
It's just rad, though. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, glad they're back.
So much money. We're talking big money, Greg.
Big bucks. Big bucks.
But if I want to know something small, where would I look?
You would look to the last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the tiny news you need to know about.
I botched that so bad.
You crushed
in so
it. You
many
were great.
different
You
ways.
laughed. It was fun. Everybody had fun. Tons
News
of
for
had
you.
fun.
For Nintendo Life, Celeste composer and game developer Lena Rain has revealed her latest project, Another Reel, a shmup RPG that combines exploration, puzzle solving, intense combat encounters. Very interesting. I mean, obviously, amazing.
Yeah,
So
of
very
course,
excited
for
for that.
Celeste, yeah.
This trailer, though, pretty wild, pretty out there.
Okay.
I'd say it kind of has a just overworld vibe of like a Earthbound type, Undertale type
Okay.
situation. But then the combat is straight up shmup. Like,
Nice.
you're flying around. Kevin, if you can scroll forward just a little bit. Try to find some of this jet gameplay. Yeah. See that?
Yeah, that's awesome. I saw this earlier. I'm very excited.
Oh,
for it.
okay, cool. And then from IGN, after properly revealing it a few weeks ago, EA Sports has finally provided fans a first look at gameplay for the highly anticipated return of college football video games, giving us
Kevin,
a
get
first
this
look.
dork shit off the fucking screen and show me that beautiful college football. Now, they put the University of Kansas in here. I have no freaking idea why. All right? Get them out of here. They got shit, but we're talking the wear and tear system, Tim, all right? We're talking about your QB gets hit on his arm. Guess what? That's going to affect him. Your chances of injury are going there. Are you subbing? Are you not? You keeping them? Let's fucking go.
So
Why are we in Lawrence, Kansas? Get us the hell out of here. Kevin, fast forward.
they're talking about new features, including the wear and tear you're talking about, and Campus IQ. What's that?
I don't know off the top of my head. They have a whole
that's-
bunch of things.
seems weird, right?
I want you to know that they yesterday were like, hey, we want to give you embargoed news about it, like in the deep dive notes. Do you want it? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Yes, I do. And it is so fucking deep.
Yeah.
This is me just scroll.
Oh my God.
This is how deep.
Oh my
this stuff.
God.
So I can,
What the fuck?
dude?
Is that a 100-page document? Like, literally?
21.
Well, it seemed like a lot more scrolling, everybody. But real quick, I want to. It's insane about scrolling, Kevin. It's insane. Why are you so excited for this? Like, what makes this more exciting than Madden?
Oh, I mean, I have a way deeper connection to Mizzou, right? I think that's what makes college football so important to so many people, right? You figure, of course, there's, 32 NFL teams? Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm forgetting somebody. There's 50 states, right? So not every state has their own thing. Where you get to college football and it's like, how many? I mean, people in Kansas get offended when I dunk on Kansas because I'm not talking about Kansas State. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much pride wrapped up in your college football experience and teams and their smaller programs and more local things, and it's just there's way more tradition, I feel, to them. More, it's not about the money, it's about the fun of the game, even though it's very much about the money for the universities. You know what I mean? Like, I think the game's more exciting. I think there's more, the action's more jam-packed, 1 foot in bounds, the ability to run the option. Like, I just enjoy college football more in the pomp and circumstance of it more than I enjoy the NFL, which I feel like is a little bit more lifeless.
And that's reflected in the games?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They go out of their way to do that. Because, again, even though they're now able to put players in it, those players are only going to be there for, 4 years tops. So you're talking about the fact that what you've got to nail is the experience. You have to nail the home field advantage. You have to nail the signs, the chants, the music, the mascots. Like, what I've talked about in Gregway leading up to this, right, is like the reason I'm so excited about this is that for years, right, playing the college football games was me getting to visit Mizzou again, right? Like, I don't get to go back to Mizzou every year, and I haven't been back in many years now, right? But going to college football gives me that dose of dopamine, right? It is the alma mater. It is the fight song. It is Truman. It is all that stuff. It is being in Memorial Stadium on Faroe Field. Like, it's getting to go home virtually.
Roll Tide.
Don't roll Tide, no.
That's sweet news for you, everybody. Oh no, Little Nightmares 3 has been delayed to 2025.
Oh, there, it's over.
Like that. Let's get to some super chats, Greg. How's that sound?
Super chats!
We got Ryan Powell Higgins saying 8 Mile in review. Obviously, at some point, I'm going to have to watch 8 Mile.
I can't believe you have not watched
I know.
8 Mile.
I listened to the soundtrack last night. After I listened to Houdini, of course, I had to go back and be like, all right, well, let's listen to some old shit.
Sure.
God damn. Is the first verse on Lose Yourself the greatest rap verse of all time?
Pretty goddamn
I'm going
good.
to fucking say it. It's easily the most popular.
Campus IQ encompasses the overarching concept that has built gameplay to what it is today. With that said, college gameplay is built on the 3 fundamental pillars, all 22 plus, 134 ways to play, and stories of Saturday. That's just the intro.
Yeah.
I can't control F in this document for some reason. I don't know.
Then we got CJ Splits on saying Sony should get Astro Bot Happy Meal toys. I don't think that they need more people throwing up at a McDonald's. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're such a fucking
They're just
idiot.
disgusted. By
I'd
the look of
be
this
there every
fucking
day trying to get my Drake, get my Aloy, get my Kratos.
thing. Yeah. We got
One thing that's upsetting for being left off of Wii News, by the way, because of course, Blessing doesn't know how to do his job. PlayStation Stars is celebrating PlayStation Days of Play, and you can get soon the Mini Puff digital collectible. Thank you, Kevin. Soon the Mini Puff digital collectible. And even though the document says, the blog post says right now, you could claim a Slimer. But I haven't been able to claim Slimer beforehand.
how the fuck are we still talking about you getting this goddamn slime?
No. I did that. Somebody else was confused on Twitter.
Okay.
And that's when I'm like, open your fucking ears when I talk. You fucking cretins. All right. I have the Slimer avatar, no problem. I'm talking about the digital collectibles, Tim,
Oh,
from my PlayStation
the
app.
NFTs.
No,
Great.
they're not NFTs. These are fungibles.
These are fungible.
I'm gonna go see if they've added it yet to the app.
Shasley says, how much will Astro be review bombed if it's $70?
I mean, everybody's a big old belly aching baby. It'll get review bombed no matter what.
Well, it's not coming to Steam, so
Great point.
where are they going to review
But that's,
bomb?
I mean, I don't know. Fucking open
Do
critic.
people review bomb in other places? Don't review bomb. Don't be fucking weird.
Slimer's still not on the app, even though they say it's gonna be on the app. So just a heads up.
Mara writes in saying Nightmare Cart, formerly Bloodborne Cart, is out today for free. That's pretty sick. And then Yang Fam 11 has the final super chat of the day saying, kind of funny rocks. Have a good weekend, everybody. Thank you so much. We appreciate you very, very much. Did we get anything wrong? This is the thing we
Never.
call you're wrong. People write in and correct us, but I doubt it, man. It's been a great week. We've been absolutely crushing it.
Thank you for all your support this week, everybody.
Vander SN comes in and does have something that is unfortunate. Like, I don't even want to read it because I don't want this to be the case. But he says that the hours of recording of Shadow the Hedgehog is a misquote. Jason Griffith responded to IGN's tweet that it was wrong. He said, haha, not true. There were some alts with stronger language, but not hours and hours. Wow, rumors, man. Just to give you an example of how untrue that quote is, I didn't even know Tails was in the game. Man, there's just quotes coming out, and you're like, oh, people said something. And then the next day, or maybe hours later, you're like, oh, wait, they didn't say it. Somebody
I
else.
hate it.
just
I hate
made
it when they
up.
say this is all the Neil Druckmann situation all over again.
Yeah. God. But this one's more serious. This is so much more important.
I apologize. This is more serious. Take this one seriously.
And then we got... Yeah, that's it, everybody. I love
Crushed
you
it.
all.
Killed it.
We're the best. What a great week.
Bless has got a big interview up next on GameScast. I'm
Oh,
excited.
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk about that a little bit?
It's him and
Xalavier Nelson.
Jr.
Very, very exciting times. It's going to be an excellent episode. If you're watching on YouTube, you got to jump over to the other YouTube video link. If you're watching on Twitch, you can just hang out. And then after that, we got Kind of Funny Game Showdown. And then after that, we're playing some video games.
Fallout 76,
What a day.
let's
And then
go.
after that, if you're a
West
Patreon
Virginia!
member, we got happy hour. It's going to be fun. I love you all. Goodbye.